Do you not have friends? Are you just a lonely airsofter? Well, then this episode is perfect for you. Welcome to the Port City Podcast. Today, we're talking about how to grow your airsoft community.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Port City Podcast. As we mentioned in the intro today, we're talking about how to build your airsoft community. We talked last week, not last week, but last episode about sportsmanship and the importance of that and how that contributes to a healthier community. So we decided to maybe just take a little bit of time and talk about different things you can do to help grow the community where you're at. And for a lot of people, dude, every time I think I have this on silent and it just still vibrates.
Well,
where was I? So you may have a community, right? You may be somewhere where there's a large airsoft field and you don't have to call or text anyone to see if they'll be at the field because guaranteed there's going to be people there.
yeah.
A lot of places don't necessarily have that. There's a lot of Facebook groups out there you can find for different communities where it's like, they kind of need to coordinate if they want to get enough people out there to play. I would say our community has grown a lot over the last couple of years, and that's not really something you have to do so much as to get a solid sized group. It is kind of something that we do encourage people to reach out and let each other know when you're going to be there. And so these are just some tips and tricks that we've picked up over time, doing this ourselves, trying to help contribute to the size of this airsoft community. So last week we kind of talked about, I guess, more so quality, and now we're talking about quantity.
Yeah. So I think, the big struggles of this is like, obviously it's people have friends unless you truly just don't have any friends, but hey, that's okay too. You've got us. But
we'll be your friend.
Yeah, we'll be your friends. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a struggle to be had, whether it's getting your friends or getting other people to play airsoft. The things that we always get is like, they're scared. I was like, oh, I don't want to get hit by a BB. It seems like it hurts, especially this number. This number
flavor
is
blasted like
almost
3 weeks
a
ago, 4
month
weeks ago.
old. There's still a knot.
Yeah. You may be scarred up. You may have scar tissue right there. That's happened to me before.
So shooting way too hot, even though he chronoed below limit, shooting
Just
way too hot.
Touching all up on your forehead, dude.
Yeah, and it does hurt, but don't be scared of it because, like,
it's fun.
What do you not experience pain at all in your life?
Cowardly and maidenless?
Yeah. Or the other thing we get is airsoft is lame. Just shoot real guns.
Yeah.
Okay,
man.
Okay.
We've gone over this, man.
Oh my god, dude. Okay.
And the crazy thing is, no one's saying that to paintball players.
No one's saying that to paintball players.
If you invite someone to play paintball, they go, "Oh yeah, that sounds cool." You invite a I don't even want to say the word because YouTube just hates
real
us.
blaster guy.
Yeah, real moment, right? You invite someone like that to come out and play paintball. Oh, yeah, I would love to come out and do fake war. But then you go, hey, here's something even closer to what you have that you could use for training. And they go, I don't know, it's kind of kiddie.
Kind of lame. I'll just shoot my real gun at my actual friends.
Oh, you said it.
Oh, I did.
You said the word.
I did say
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
It is going on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't like that word.
You can censor it, dude. I'll literally put in a voice line. We'll record a voice line of me going, blaster.
And
you can just
my blaster. And then you kind of run into the situation as well where maybe you find someone in that in between where it's like they're willing to try it, and they're not really afraid, but they just don't have the funds to pull it off. That is kind of the issue of trying to get people out to the field, and then after that it becomes where, right? Is there a field? Do you have a local field? A lot of people struggle with finding places to play. Maybe there's no official airsoft or paintball fields near you. And then a common one I feel like that I've heard is there is a place to go,
but I'm scared.
Yeah, you don't want to go by yourself.
I knew people scary.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it can be a little intimidating to show up to a location where these guys have been playing for years, right? You're showing up to play with groups of people who know what they're doing, are very competitive. It's high aggression, and you don't have a battle buddy, so you don't know
what's
what to
going
do.
on. Yeah.
And then sometimes, man, it's just like not enjoyable.
And we've experienced this before, where they're just the dominating group of people playing in our community was very toxic.
This was several years ago. We actually wound up playing.
Yeah, we stopped playing because we were just having so many bad experiences.
Took what, like a 2-year, 3-year gap where we never went out, and then it was a whole
that
deal.
group actually ended up getting banned from the airsoft field,
and it was a whole deal. But we've also been to other airsoft fields where we visit and people go, yeah, it's kind of a rough day. This group is here, and they just cause problems. And so it's definitely not exclusive to where we're at. We've seen this throughout the country at the different places we've been to. And at the end of the day, that is the facility's job, to the field staff to manage that. But there are things you can do to help, and I think that's what we're going to get into. And most people just don't know where to start.
And I think that the place to start is by finding the place to play, right? So if it is a situation where there is a field but the community is not great, maybe there's somewhere else. You could start getting, if there's enough people that are as exasperated by you like that word, dude? Exasperated by the situation at hand.
Dude, that looks like some dehydrated piss right there.
It does, like marginally dehydrated. Is it apple juice?
It's
piss.
Yeah, it's piss.
It's piss. Refrigerated piss.
Yeah, most people think it's piss, and that's because it is.
I'll tell you, there is, sorry, this is getting way off topic, but there is a group of people that do believe that there is medicinal properties in drinking aged pee.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, I'm drinking water with a little bit of Pedialyte because I'm dehydrated.
Okay, Pedialyte.
Yeah.
Not pee.
Yeah.
Water with a little bit of pee.
I'm drinking water with a little bit of pee.
Yeah.
Pedialyte.
Sorry,
way off base. Let's keep going here.
We don't endorse drinking urine.
Yeah, don't do that.
It is sterile though, and Bear Grylls would say it's good, but no,
and don't do it.
Don't do it. But yeah, maybe it's finding another place, getting the people that are as frustrated with the situation as you together, and saying, hey, so and so has this land, or in our area there's quite a few military bases, and there's one of these bases has like
training facilities,
or like I think one of them has just like land that is for recreational use that you can
rent
schedule
it
and that used to be a thing when all of that was happening a few years ago.
There was groups that would go
most people would just go to those. They would find people that were hosting games privately.
And we know people who own an acre or two in the woods, and we set up like little games with our friends and stuff. So it's definitely, there's ways around it.
Yeah. There's also so many milsim events and just airsoft events in general, not even milsims. Evike, at a lot of their fields, they'll do events of just like elevated gameplay kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or like, like specialized objective stuff.
And if you're into the Speedsoft world, they got competitions everywhere, dude. Get a team together. Get like, I don't know how many you need. I can't imagine it's more than like 8.
It can't be.
I'm not in that world. But
what is dude, that's a good idea. Maybe we should dive into like the world of Speedsoft and like how
I think it would be cool
works.
to host some Speedsoft events. We've got some kind of creative ideas on how to capture that content and make it a show in a way for people to view, make it exciting. But all of that aside,
once you find the field, dude.
Yeah, once you have a location figured out, you got to invite people.
Yeah. So we have had mixed experiences with like getting people involved. In our daily lives, we do encounter a lot of people that are not affiliated with airsoft at all or not initiated to the sport
Yeah.
that we find ourselves explaining this to. And a lot of people do show interest, like, oh, that'd be cool. Like there are some people that I know that are real, you know, real users that don't know necessarily, like, they've probably heard of airsoft, but it is that, like, oh, I just thought it's like the little Walmart guns and blasters.
Or they've seen, you're gonna get it canceled, dude.
I am just too.
Or they've seen like a kicking Mustang video, and it's like that's not really a good representation of how it is.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I get too is like, oh, there's so many cheaters, and like, well, who are you watching? Oh, I watched that kicking Mustang guy.
Hey,
okay,
man,
yeah, well, there's your problem.
He's making them, right? He's finding those guys.
Yeah, I mean, again,
you see.
We used to play with 4 people, like 4 or 5 people in just around your house.
I had a fenced in backyard, and I built out of scrap wood a bunch of pieces of like. I mean, truthfully, it was like a speedball course. It was a bunch of small pieces of cover, and you'd start on opposite sides of the yard, and then you'd just book it to the first piece of cover, and we'd go around there with. I mean, I think the biggest game we ran in that backyard was almost 20 people.
Yeah.
And so there are people who are willing to try this out, right?
Yeah.
And that becomes a question of, you know, what can you do to make that accessible for those people? And what we have found is if you are into airsoft, right? If you are sort of a seasoned player, more than likely you own more than one blaster.
Yeah.
And over time, people just tend to expand their collection, maybe get new mask setups, maybe you're getting new goggles, or you switch to a paintball or dye mask or something. All of that gear, you know, obviously sometimes you sell and trade, but we have kind of accumulated enough gear that we can bring a solid group of people with us, just borrowing our stuff. If the fields near you don't have rentals, maybe it is just, you know, buying a couple extra sets of goggles and stuff and being like, hey man, come out and play. I'll let you use my stuff for free, you know, and that's an incentive for them to get into it. And I would say near about everyone we've done that with, if they enjoy airsoft, has gone and purchased their own stuff.
Yeah.
And so you can do that. You can also, if you have a solid group in your airsoft community, put out a message on Facebook or in a Discord channel or whatever and say, hey, I want to bring some people. Is there anyone willing to loan out some gear?
Yeah.
Lots of seasoned players are more than willing to make a somewhat of a sacrifice, right? And take the risk of loaning out that gear to potentially gain another member of the community.
Yeah. Any new member is a good member.
If they're following the rules, right?
Yeah.
Go watch the sportsmanship video.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah.
You got it up here.
So once you have, right, this precious little gem, this egg, as it were, of a community, an airsoft community, and you've got the gear and everything,
this lump of coal,
as it were,
now
that you
need
must
to apply pressure, make it a diamond.
Diamond.
Yeah, just like that. That's how it works.
That's how it works. That's how they do it.
Then they talk about lab-grown diamonds. It is Corbin in there.
Yeah,
just
I'm pressing them, dude. The blood diamonds that they talk about is me bleeding from the hands. Yeah. No, it's actually terrible. Way worse than that. So when you have this community and you have all the resources, you've got the, you know, and that could be, obviously we have blasters and everything that are available for people who want to come out and try it, but we also have objective props, right? Like we've got flags, we've got a makeshift like bomb for not fake. Real, fake bomb, fake for real, fake.
A hypothetical explosionless.
Yeah, it's toy. A Bluetooth speaker in a box that we have a phone connected to that has an app on it that is just a fake bomb timer.
YouTube, please don't kill us.
YouTube, please let this go. Yeah, let this thing happen.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah. So, resources it can mean a lot of things, right? But how do you steward this? How do you keep like this momentum, right? There's some things around, and again, the sportsmanship video is a good reference point for a lot of this stuff too. We go into a little bit more detail on this stuff, but building a respectful community, right? It is a group of people that are coming together, and everyone needs to be treated with respect, or it's not a community, right? Like, it's not.
People tend to lose themselves in the
Yeah.
competition. It is a simulated combat environment.
Mm-hmm.
It is us versus them on the field. You are trying to win. You are trying to beat this other team.
As soon as you step off that field, it is Jimmy
right back
from down the street.
It is right back to your buddy,
Yeah.
right? Sitting at the ready table. So
there's been times that Isaac and I have been in fights, and I've gotten frustrated at something that I felt like was happening.
Yeah. But then we have to go back to the
then,
table.
like, we're at the same table, you know? And then we also have this business.
Yeah, so it's like, dude, it's not that serious, right? It's all about having fun. If you're not having fun, why are you there? I mean, obviously you can use this stuff for training, but come on. That's fun. Training is fun. We all know it's fun.
It's fun. You like it.
You love it.
You like it. Come
dude.
on.
So, yeah. Cultivating a respectful community is very important. And I don't know, man. Like, think about, no one likes to be around unpleasant people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No one wants to be in a situation where they're being degraded or treated unfairly, unjustly.
Yeah.
And so creating an environment where a new player can come into your group and it not feel, another thing we don't address most of the time, I think is important to kind of discuss, is like avoiding that cliquey feeling.
Yeah.
Welcome new players in, introduce them.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're so glad you're here. Like we do this however often you guys are playing. You know, we'd love for you to keep coming out, and we're always excited to welcome a new member into the community. Keeping that open door, right? Mm-hmm. Allowing people to come in. Obviously, chat, talk with your friends and stuff. But if you see someone sitting by themselves, go introduce yourself to that person.
And that's very much so a reality, right? Like, you and I go with, you know, a handful of people. You know, that's not the entire group that's out there. Out of, you know, 20 to 30 people, 5 or 6 of them are our friends that we like interact with throughout the week outside of Airsoft. So like, yes, you do have this, like, friend groups tend to stick together, but at the same time, I feel like we, as our community at the very least, does a good job of like, yeah, man, why don't you come over here with us? Like, there's room here for you guys.
I mean, even just us two alone, if we see a new player, we make it a point to go talk to that person. Yeah. That's just important, man. It's just important to welcome people in. And I think beyond that, you know, it is a matter of, we're kind of jumping around here. I'm trying to see where we're at on these notes.
I think it's, so part of stewarding that, right, is, especially with new players, is going over the rules regularly. Yeah. One thing that has happened at our field recently is, like, we have a rule set, but it's not something that's enforced by the field. It's enforced by the players. And that rule set is listed on various Discords and Facebook groups and stuff. But a new player who just Googles Airsoft near me and sees hoppers and is like, okay, well, I'm going to go there this weekend.
They're not gonna know.
They don't know about the Facebook groups and about the Discords until they get there and we invite them in. So us not going over the rules every Saturday that we got to play, new players have an idea. Either they are new to Airsoft or they've played Airsoft other places and the rule set there is different than what it is here. We don't have MEDs. We don't have bang rules, or we do have an MED, but it's very specific. It's like no full auto within 20 feet. That's it, right?
It's we truthfully have a very, like, aggressive.
It is a very aggressive.
We have very lax rules about engagement stuff because, I mean, I don't know.
Everybody likes to just get up in it.
Yeah, and everyone at our field is like a fast pace player. And
you do get some people who get frustrated about being shot real close, but it's never a like, hey, you can't shoot me that close. It's just a like, yeah, I mean, hey man, it's Airsoft. Like, you get shot.
Yeah. So the big takeaway, I would say, is, you know, making Airsoft accessible, making it enjoyable. And if you stick on top of those things, it's going to be a lot easier for new members to come into the community, and you will see the growth that you want. Another big thing you can do right? And I know that airsoft gameplay and gameplay channels and everything, it's a very oversaturated thing right now. There's tons of people posting stuff, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't, right? You don't have to be the famous airsoft, you don't have to be Novrich, but if you are making content that is searchable, right? And it's, hey,
Yes.
airsoft gameplay at
This
place.
field.
You are now making it to where when people go to search airsoft in these areas, that is going to populate and they can actually see what that community is like and that gameplay is like. And so, sharing clips on Instagram, sharing videos on YouTube, maybe even in Discord servers, get into these local, Facebook groups and Discord servers and post photos and clips and really like promote being at the field playing airsoft with your friends. Promote that, push for that. As
That's
well
like
as just
the
like
whole thing of airsoft.
having videos. Like, it's easy for us because we do so much content creation. If someone we know that doesn't play airsoft asks, oh, what's that like? Right there on my phone, I have a quick video of our last day out there, and they see that and they go, whoa, that's like that it is really cool. It's a cool thing to be able to share that with people.
There's a lot of Discord servers too. There's our Discord server, the Port City Airsoft Discord server. There is a Southeast Georgia Airsoft Discord group. There's one for the field, I think. There's there's a few more that it's Discord honestly is, and we talk about it earlier in this episode too, if you watch this on Patreon. Then there's Discord really does serve a good purpose. Like we talked about, like, having all these business meetings, we should be doing it in Zoom because doing it in Discord doesn't feel very professional. But Discord is so much more than just a place to have video calls. It is a community space.
I would say maybe about 5% or less of our Discord server is dedicated to our meeting stuff. We have a plethora of channels for tech questions, for self-promotion. If you do make a channel, we encourage you, get in there and promote your stuff. We have like areas for people's projects. We have like a rate or roast channel for your kits. We have all sorts of stuff for field photos. And I will use this as a shameless plug for the Discord server. If you are wanting to grow your community, hey, join our Discord server. It's completely free. You can find the link in the description down below and get in there and talk to people and talk to us. I mean, I'm in there. It's a Little Spoon and then Tater Tot. And we're out there. We also have admin staff who can help, and we'd love to answer those questions for you guys and give you a place to start promoting, at least to our community, right? To kind of have some overlap for you to get some of your first few followers and make it a little bit easier for you to get the word out there about what you're doing for airsoft.
Yeah. So I think honestly, the most important thing with all of this, right? Like the number one thing, if you don't do anything that we talked about in this whole thing, the most important thing you should do is go play airsoft.
Go play airsoft, dude.
Yeah. Whee! Taking my apple.